My sister asked me to be her surrogate but wanted me to do it the traditional way with her husband, so I said no, but they kept saying my body was made for this. Now I've left my family and church to start over across the country. Posted by you/throwrafe. For most of my life, my sister Alice has been wanting kids but has been unable to carry a baby to full term, in part due to endometriosis. She was in a lot of pain and had to have a hysterectomy. Alice and her husband, Ben, have fostered 5 children and adopted 2 children with autism. They are great parents, have a good home environment, and are well off financially. But recently, Ben and Alice were bitten by the urge to have a kid biologically related to them because they wanted a chance to do things right and provide the best start in life. So they asked me to be their traditional surrogate and said that they would cover all costs associated with it. They would also pay off my student debt, rent a 2-bedroom apartment for 3 years, and give me substantial cash. I said sure. It'll be 9 months of my life in exchange for being set up for quite some time, and my immediate family thinks it is a great idea. However, when I said sure, I was expecting something along the lines of intrauterine insemination, where we go to the doctor to get Ben's sperm prepped and me getting shots. I was expecting the whole artificial insemination package. But Alice and Ben have asked me to get pregnant the traditional way. Their rationale is that first, it is the cheapest way. Second, they don't want to go to the hospital given the pandemic, and third, they think babies conceived naturally are healthier and that the pregnancy would be safer without the chemicals. Still, I just can't get over the extreme ick factor. And even if this was going to take place at home, I think a syringe would work fine. My immediate family doesn't see anything wrong with it and has been congratulating my sister on her impending baby. I will discuss alternatives with my sister that don't involve me carrying the baby, though I'm not looking forward to that discussion. Update 1. All the comments on my previous post showed me that I am way too young, dumb, and ignorant for what I signed up for. I started researching actual lived experiences, and I read so many horror stories that I've decided not to go ahead with helping them have kids in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I'm not even sure if I ever want to get pregnant after all the stories about 3rd and 4th degree tears, poop, and miscarriages. I am clearly not in the right stage of life and maturity to even consider doing something of this magnitude. The difficult part was mustering up the courage to call my sister to tell her my decision. I really look up to my sister and love her, and our family and religion have always been about helping others where we can. When I called her to tell her, we had a short conversation at first. I said, "Sorry, I can't do it, but that doesn't mean I love you any less." She seemed sad but said she was happy to respect my decision, and I thought that was it. Then, just last night, my sister and brother-in-law called me back over Zoom. My sister was crying and begged me to reconsider, as both of them really wanted biological kids. My brother-in-law told me they were really disappointed in me and hoped I would find it within me to do this. When I told him my concerns, he just said pregnancy and motherhood are a beautiful and natural process, and that I was made for this. I'm so glad I did this over video call instead of in person because I just hung up on them and faked having connection problems. I've ignored their texts so far, and frankly, I don't know what else to say. Update 2. I'm leaving for the airport in a few hours to move across the country, and I can't sleep. I plan to slowly phase out contact with my family and community, even though I love the people there a lot. Long story short, I went over to Alice and Ben's house to visit their kids in May. While there, they asked me in person to reconsider my decision. Sometime during this, Ben started kissing and groping me. I let him. I know typing this out makes me seem dumb for going over and weak because I was. But I just froze, and it was very difficult to say no at that moment, especially with my sister crying and Ben having quite a presence in person. Trust me, I have replayed the scenario so many times in my head, wishing I had been stronger at that moment. Luckily, that was the extent of it, and I was able to leave shortly after because I didn't know what I would have done otherwise. Surprisingly, I also received no support from my parents or bishop regarding my earlier decision. I don't think they knew exactly what Alice and Ben were asking me, and I didn't bring it up either. I was already an outsider for not conforming to the usual lifestyle of being married with kids, but this still shocked me. All these things combined made me reevaluate my life. Working from home and having this much time alone has also given me a lot of time to think about things. I fell down the rabbit hole of reading stories of people who also left the church, and I want that life for me. So I've spent the last 3 months making arrangements and transferring to another part of my company. Today is the big day. I know it's not going to be easy. Pretending to be normal at the last Pioneer Day family gathering was the hardest thing I needed to do, but I did it for myself and for closure. But I'm going to get through this. Update 3. My first anniversary of leaving the mess that was my family behind is coming up. It's a beautiful sunny day here. I just feel really grateful for life and all my opportunities. Here's to the first year without them.